July 8th would find us trackside for a sizable portion of the day alongside various rails in the city of Shreveport, Louisiana. While the KCS Octagon is still present all around Duramus Yard, the invasion of Canadian Pacific Motors has pressed on. To my surprise, CP Beavers are about even, if not outnumbering the KCS motors in the always busy locomotive shops. I always say, a day rail fanning in Shreveport just is not complete without a trip to Duramus, and that's because you never know what you'll find here. Such as the KCS-9s optimized for MOW service, and also KCS 2601, a rare SD22 Eco locomotive rebuilt from a SDP 40. While it's pronounced by locals as Jordan Street, yes, I know my home state pronounces things oddly, it is nonetheless a sure safe bet to find something moving here. CPKC alongside Union Pacific begin paralleling rails from here until the riverfront just about another mile or two down. Our first road train of the day would be one of the daily BNSF TXU coal trains, which is utilizing the Y in the middle of the city to shove back into position for a BNSF crew to pick up and take back to home rails in Texas. I know many of you have requested a video showcasing these trains' operations, and don't worry, I still have plans to do so. While technically we are looking at the DPU, the conductor is spotting the shove from the air-conditioned cab and has the headlights and ditch lights fully activated. This is one of CP's SD70 ACU rebuild motors, which were originally the less than successful SD90 model. After the coal train passed, I'd head back to my apartment for a few hours to eat some lunch and cool off. By 3 o'clock that afternoon, I was back out there alongside the Red River. You're looking at the old Cotton Belt Riverfront Yard, which hosts several Union Pacific trains of the Shreveport subdivision, not to be confused with CPKC's Shreveport subdivision. Waiting for a fresh crew to continue its journey down the Lufkin sub and eventually to Houston, we see the MPBEW sitting quietly. The goal of this afternoon was to capture a local based out of Riverfront Yard, crossing the diamond with CPKC to serve the sole customer on this branch line. While we would be seeing this later on, we first reposition up on top of the Holiday Inn parking garage for an elevated vantage. Just as we set up, the MPBEW is receiving a fresh crew that will take the train on the rest of its journey. As the crew is getting situated and eases out of the yard, we see the local we are after building its short train bound for the St. Gobain Corporation. Even on UP rails, the sight of Kansas City Southern Retro Bell painted locomotives is still common sight here in the city. Here we see one sandwiched between the two veteran Armor Yellow motors. In the recent months, Union Pacific had this curve replaced and widened. At one point, this curve was much tighter, and with that came a too common occurrence of derailments with longer cars such as center beams. This train originates out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, a former Cotton Belt town where you can still find the mighty 819 steam locomotive on display in the Arkansas Railroad Museum. And like I mentioned earlier, this train is bound for the Houston Metroplex. The local will be the next to move here at Riverfront. While the CPKC has been talking non-stop on the scanner, nothing is needing to cross over the Red River, so the local will not have to wait longer than the amount of time it takes to get a signal indication. And after just about 2.5 hours of nothing, our local is finally making its way back. 6 cars were brought to the industry, and 5 are brought back. I plan on going into more depth of this small but neat operation of this local, so be sure to stay tuned. And to wrap up the day, a surprise cameo from CPKC Intermodal I-167. Coming from NS Rails in Atlanta, the train is pushing to make it to Wiley, Texas, just outside of Dallas. While brief, I hope you enjoyed this video of my outing in Shreveport. It's been pretty busy with my new job here in the city, but I hope to continue to take some time to sit trackside and document my findings and then share them with you. Take it easy, my friends, and thanks for watching.